Good evening and welcome to the table in the tavern. I'm your host, Patrick, and I brought some of my friends along. My friends, of course, you know them as some of them from the Agents of the Black Hand, others from our one shot the other night, Chandler, and then, of course, Chris over there shoveling his mouth. That would be Drake. You've seen him on one of our Nightfall games, including the one shot if you've been watching that as well. Um, We're going to go around and introduce everyone. I'm going to start with my man to my left here. That's Brandon. Brandon, why don't you go ahead and say hi and tell us a little bit about your character you've been playing tonight?
All right. Well, I'm Brandon, like Patrick said, and I'm going to be playing as Gert. He is going to be the first mate to Captain DeVinto, and right now we're on a ship sailing to another island from Chimera, doing a quest for Lady Vel.
That is Chimeria. Chimera is the name of a
Chimeria.
creature, but Chimeria is the name of the city where you
Yeah.
come from, which is named after said creature, not to be confused with the two. Next up, we have Chris. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the character you're going to be playing this evening, which is one of my favorites. I play with him in a couple different games, but he's never been able to have a game that he's been able to, how do I say, why don't you tell us a little bit about your character? Let's go with that.
So my name is Drake. My character's name is Tarzinster Archibane. He goes by Tars for short. He's a sea elf or aquatic elf storm sorcerer, and he came to these parts by way of Faerun, Forgotten Realms, where he was whisked away from there to the land of the dread and dealing with Ravenloft, and since then has found himself yet again portaled away to somewhere else. So to say that I have no idea where I am or what's going on would be an understatement. And beyond that, I'm quite resourceful and can take care of myself. I'll leave it at that for now.
And magic. A sorcerer, a storm sorcerer. Um, Next up, we have Dean, captain of our vessel this evening. Why don't you tell us a little about your character?
Yeah, I'm a. My character's name is Captain Von DeVento, captain of the Greasy Roger. Picked up this ship by means of a parlay duel against the captain, kicked his ass, and got the ship, and now I'm the captain of it. And we're, long story short, we're making sail. I'm a human warrior, human fighter. Sorry about that. And here with my wonderful crew to see where we go and where adventures end up on while doing missions and quests for Miss Lady Val.
Indeed. Next up, we have Chandler, who's going to be joining us this evening. Chandler, why don't you tell us a little bit about the character you're going to be playing?
Character I'm playing, his name is Finn. He is a tiefling ranger.
I always like tieflings; they're very interesting. Next up, we have Aiden. Aiden, why don't you tell us a little bit about the character you're going to be playing this evening?
Yeah, so I'm playing Lord. He's a Drin Ranger, and I am honestly just all about the violence and chaos and having some good coin, but, anything that Lady Bell needs done, I got to get it done.
Indeed.
For those Patrick, I forgot to mention on my character. My character, he's a dwarf fighter.
Dwarf fighter, yes.
Forgot to mention that.
Indeed. Yeah. The character that they're referring to, this Lady Val, the city they left, they let's just say they picked up some work from her and are trying to make sure they see that it gets done correctly. and you can pick up more of that if you watch Agents of the Black Hand either on Spotify or YouTube or any other major primary platforms like Google Podcasts and so forth. Anyway, getting started this evening, we're going to get started with a little bit of a recap of what happened the last time we played. You guys set sail from Chimeria and made your way to the high seas. We find ourselves now. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Make a long story. Oh, of course. Here we go. Yeah, of course you would. To make a long story short on that one, we ended up picking up a crew to kind of fill in the spots from the pirate crew that disbanded, and some wanted to stay, some didn't. Did a few hired sellswords as well. We are crossing the sea to be able to do a quest/mission for Miss Lady Vel, and she's got us doing more or less to kill some hags or bitches. I mean witches. But we're kind of undercover, as in if we get stopped by certain other merchant ships or battleships in any way, shape, or form, we cannot tell anybody what we're doing, so on and so forth. And what they're needing to know, if they do have any questions, that we are merchants going across the sea to sell some wine, fine silks, and some spices, I'm assuming. But long story short is we're going to be kicking ass and taking some names for Lady Vel.
All right. Yeah. All right.
So recap,
yeah. I mean, really, it's just putting things fresh in everyone's mind as far as what happened and what our objectives may be, and also a little bit of getting us in the mindset of where we are and what we were doing the last time we played. Sometimes players, they get themselves into things and little tidbits. It may take 5-10 minutes, and then it gets forgotten in those 2-3 hours that you played, and then you never come back to them. So this is the opportunity to kind of revisit those things, get them fresh in your minds. So as you pursue forward, you're able to circle back to them. I find myself doing that a lot as I listen to the podcast. Anyway, you guys were making your way into the you guys had recharted a course, making your way to the northern lands of Kandor in search of a purple worm. You guys were trying to find this purple worm because you wanted some finer things in life and decided to, how do I say, make a deal with a very shady merchant, very magical, and they ended up having you go talk to some ice giant, frost giant,
ice giant king.
Yeah, and it was kind of strange where you just walk through this portal, and you guys walk into a tower, and you walk inside, and the architecture of the room you're in looks nothing like the tower outside, but like almost like a tavern or a small shop. Walk in there and talk about this, that, and the other. The shopkeeper tells you doesn't matter what it is, he can get it if he doesn't have it. If he can't get it, he'll make it. And then proceeds to make deals with you for different items that you want. Then sent you through a door that he just manifested out of magic, and you passed through it. Went and talked to some ice giant in the lands north of Kandor, okay, about some purple worms that he wanted dealt with that were making their way south. And so you guys were setting off to do that, but then remembered you had a job to do from Lady Vel, and you couldn't be bothered with 3 to 6 days travel up in the northern lands of Kandor. So you decided to get back on your ship, and you recalculated your route to include the Endeavor in Kandor. And thanks to Aiden and Brandon working together, they replotted a course that could shave off a little bit of time from going all the way around Candor, but going under it instead. And instead splitting Stygia and Candor and going up through the southern lands and making your way to the northern uh, tundras of Candor, and then making your way from there to, I believe it was Dannon you were headed to, correct? No, no. You
I
guys
do
were
believe.
headed all the way down
No.
to the lands of
Yeah,
Olaine,
that
where
was
you were
the
set. Yeah, I believe you were going to Manon, not Dannon, Manon, southern
We were going
portion of
to
Deimos, which would be
Panthers
to.
Cove.
Well, yes, Panthers Cove is right over here, or Panthers Coast. Okay, if you see on the map for his roll 20, you might be able to see it pop up there.
Yep.
Can I ask you, Brandon? Sometimes it has a little bit of lagginess on the roll 20 issue. Can you just on your end be viewing the roll 20 at the same time I'm pinging? We're going to work this out. You can do a split screen with the
Okay.
Discord on one side and the roll 20 on the other to make sure it's still reading. Let's see. Does it? There it is. Now I'm seeing me pinging. Good. All right. So we've got. This is where your venture started. And you're talking about the Panthers Coast right here. It's frozen now. Let's see here. We're gonna get the technical issue.
Yep.
Now. All right. So yeah, Panthers Coast down there, and you're gonna be taking
That can go away.
a shortcut between Stygia and Candor here, making your way up to the northern lands. If you could pan over there, Matt or Brandon, a little bit.
Yeah, I got you.
So then you're going to be making your way up to the northern area here, which that's where you're going to be dealing with this purple worm. But your true location is over here. Y'all keep moving it. So you guys have a long journey ahead. Very long journey. It's going to take you almost across the whole of Thalia. And there's no real timetable on it exactly. So you have that to your benefit. But with a long journey as it is, I like to do ventures with a bit of a roll. You remember from the last time we played, guys, right? We had you guys roll I believe may have had you roll a d12. I'm going to ask you to do that again. Roll me a d12.
rolling a d12. I'll do it on here. Boop. Rolling. A whopping 3.
Everybody or just?
I just need one roll. This is the same as we've done in many of our other games before, Chris, where I ask someone to roll for a random encounter. Okay? So
Rolled a 5.
I got a 12.
right.
I got a 3.
I only needed one roll. Thank you. And it was a 3. So as you guys are making your way across the vast oceans, let me get some perception checks from Brandon, Dean, and Aiden.
Okay.
You guys are top deck, talking about what it is to be true to Lady Val, it appears.
Damn, I got a 9.
You're
Got an 8.
you're taking good care of your new bow that you got from Lady Val. What about Brandon?
Sweet.
I got an 8.
And you're fascinated by the bow that Lorek has procured from Lady Val. He's showing you where the oath is written on it. What about you there, Dean? What was your perception?
It was a +5, so dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Thank you. So as Aiden's over there, or Lorik is over there talking about his bow and talking about how he got it, he was riding on the backs of these dire wolves and shooting at these gypsies and so forth. And they said that, he did a good job. He even shows you the scar that he has on his shoulder from a bolt he took, and showing you the bow that he got, and talking about all this, that, and the other. He leaves out some of the minor details about his arrangements with Lady Val. But as he's talking about it, over his shoulder, you see something emerge from the depths. It looks like a small island.
A small what? I'm sorry, you broke up just a wee bit.
Sorry, it looks like a small island floating in the ocean by itself. It's about a 10-foot by 10-foot diameter. It just kind of surfaced. There's a bit of moss and coral that's grown on it, almost like it may have just broken off from the reef below and floated to the surface. Oh yeah, and it's actually in the direction you're heading. So it's about a few hundred yards out, but you're heading straight for it. Iceberg, dead ahead, sort of thing.
Oh, yeah.
What would you like to do?
Is it kind of yeah? Well, first off, we're going to end up I'm going to yell to the men, turn the ship starboard, go around this island. We'll go around this chunk that out of nowhere. We need to stay close to it because I really want to see what it is, and if it broke off of the coral like it's sounding like it did, it might be something or some creature. I don't know. Just we need to keep an eye on it to make sure, and if it's something worth interest, we check it out. Of course. I don't know why I did a thumbs down. I didn't do a thumbs down, but whatever.
Well, okay, yeah. You take precautions, and the ship it begins to slow as the crew goes to work, and you give it a bit of a berth as you begin to make your way around it. Is that correct? Trying to pass by it.
You're just passing by it slowly, but also keeping an eye out. If I can do another perception check if you need me to.
Well, yeah,
just to see if it's anything worthwhile.
Make me another perception check, and I'll give you advantage this time.
All right. That's 21. 21 and 9. So I'm going to do the 21.
So from as you guys get closer, you're noticing there's the sea foam that's bubbling up from around it, and it makes the diameter look like a little bit bigger than the 10 by 10 that you're seeing. It may be closer to 20 by 20. And so you're thankful that you gave it a wide berth because it's actually a little bigger than it first seemed. And as you're passing by, you see what looks like. At first, you're not sure what it was. It looks like a rock, but rocks don't float. But then you see as it races up, it opens its mouth, and it's a turtle, a very large sea turtle. They call it something different. Why don't we get some nature checks for the lot of
Okay. Oh, actually, 17. I was worried about that. Rolled a 15, and then my nature's +2.
4.
Okay.
It's gonna be a good night tonight, guys. I can already tell.
19.
19. So, Dean and Brandon, you guys recognize this thing from different tellings of different vessels that have encountered them on the high seas. You're looking at what seems to be a dragon turtle, and as you exclaim that, it it rushes forward at the vessel as you go to pass it. Its gaping maw of a mouth pierces into the side of the vessel, or at least
Oh,
attempts to.
fuck.
Yes, it does, and it's going to do 12 points of damage to the side of your vessel. This damage is going to be piercing uh, damage, basically to the side of the hull. The whole ship lurches. Chandler, you're down below in the vessel, okay, sitting on one of the crates, eating some bread. Got yourself a little bit of summer sausage that you managed to swindle from one of the sacks of supplies. You haven't told anyone about it, keeping it to yourself. You get yourself a nice slice of it, and you're bringing it up to your mouth as the whole vessel lurches. Whoa! And you lose the summer sausage, and it rolls off behind some crates. And you see coming through the hull of the ship the beak
Yeah.
of a giant
Surprise,
sea
motherfucker.
turtle, okay? And water began to rush into the hole. Okay? I would like everyone
Chilling it.
to go ahead and roll me initiative.
Yeah.
That includes you, Chris.
You want us to roll what?
Initiative.
Initiative.
Okay.
13.
Okay. I have a 13. Was that from Dean?
That was Dean. Yes, correct.
Aiden got a 25.
25. Nice.
14.
19.
I have a 14 from Brandon and a 19 from Chandler. Was that correct?
Correct.
What do you got over there, Chris?
11.
That works out pretty well there, Chris. Thank you. So, Aiden,
Yeah.
you're on the deck of the ship, and Dean has exclaimed something about, this island out there. And you're like, island. Yeah, there's islands. I get it. Go back to your bow, and you're looking at the way it's drawn up. You're like, oh yeah, make sure that the bowstring is perfectly twined and stuff like that. You're admiring how the craftsmanship, and suddenly the vessel is lurching. And the bow falls on the ground in front of you. You're like, what the hell? You pick up your bow and you look over, and there's, of course, this sea turtle, giant turtle, that is attacking your vessel. What would you like?
Shit.
It looks like you're in a dance hall over there. I love it.
Yeah, I know.
I'm playing the wrong music. Let me see if I can.
Oh, shoot.
I was about to say, we need to get some disco going.
Okay.
I'm not hearing.
There's more.
I'm not hearing it over there. Are you guys hearing that coming through there? I'm not hearing.
I heard it.
You have Roll20 up on the same, like, is Roll20 playing in the background, or is it up next
Yeah,
to Roll?
it's playing in the background.
No. I'm asking Brandon on your computer.
No.
Do you have Roll20 playing in the background, and then you have Discord up in front of it? Basically, Discord's your
no,
full
it's-
screen, and behind it is Roll20.
No, I have it split screen. I
Split
didn't
screen.
know
For some
if
reason,
you
I'm
want me
just
to
not.
switch it back.
No. You're fine. For some reason, I'm just not hearing anything. I don't know why. It's okay. Don't worry about it. It's worth a shot.
Uh,
All right. I'll tell you what. You can stop sharing. It's not gonna work out the way I wanted it. I'm gonna go back to doing it the old way. So I could be privy to the roll 20 ambient sound for the audience on Twitch, but I'm not hearing it come through. So
Using that on my phone.
there we go. Okay, here's something.
I didn't know if I was doing something wrong for you.
You're not
Captain,
doing anything
or
wrong. It's just the
what's
system
going
being
on.
funny. It has nothing to do with you, bud. Nothing wrong with you at all.
I got you.
Just for some reason,
I did boost the server.
It's all your fault, Brandon. Every single bit of
it's
it.
not your fault. It's just something that we need to work out rather than
Geez.
being online, live and stuff like that. It's just something we're doing at the moment. Anyway, so Aiden, you collect yourself. You see the dragon turtle there. What would you like to do?
I guess. I'll just, shoot an arrow at it.
Okay,
Right at its face.
right at its face. Are you making a cold shot at its head?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and make me an attack with disadvantage.
And at that moment, he realized
Well, I
he
rolled
messed
twice.
up.
The lesser option, right?
Sagan.
Disadvantage is like I have to roll twice and take the.
That is correct. Because
The
what's
low-
going on is this: it's not a punishment. What it is that instead of just lining up a thing and loosing your arrow, what you're doing is you're taking the time to aim perfectly on a certain spot of its head, and so it makes it a little bit harder to hit that particular target.
Well, I got a 7.
Right. And so what ends up happening is you shoot your arrow, but it clinks off the shell of it as you're trying to hit the back of its neck, and it ricochets off. These are the same rules I've used with everyone else when they make a called shot, remember? Called shots have disadvantage to attack. I want to hit him in the nuts. Roll for the disadvantage. That's the same thing.
Sounds a bit painful, doesn't it, Aiden?
All right, so is that going to end your turn, Aiden? I know you have two attacks. So what are you doing with the second one?
I'm actually gonna end my turn right there.
Okay. You attack and screw this turtle. And that becomes Chandler. Chandler, you're down in the belly of the ship. Okay? And of course the beak of this turtle has come through. Water's rushing in. What would you like to do?
Start taking a stab at it.
Okay. So you pull out your what kind of melee weapon are you using? What's that? At the beak, yeah, okay. Um, you quickly brandish your weapon and make an attack.
It'd be the double-bladed scimitar.
Okay. Double-bladed
And
scimitar. I hear you, Darth Maul.
Right.
This is Finn. Is that correct?
yes.
Okay. All right, Finn. Go ahead and make that attack for me, okay?
I got a 17.
17 does not hit. You attack, but it clings off of its beak. So it does hit. It just doesn't seem like it did any damage. Okay. The hardness of its beak is too much. As you're rushing towards this rushing in water, it makes it very difficult for you to find a solid attack. Is that going to end your turn, Ben?
Yes,
I believe you have 2 attacks.
I do. I like to try and hit in the same spot again.
All right, make an attack again.
16.
All right, so you once again attack forward with your weapon, but the rushing water it's pushing you back so hard it's very difficult for you to make contact. Very bleak, I know, very difficult. So I want to look at your character real quick. Not bad. I'm gonna do something real quick. Okay. You're good. Carry on. We're gonna bring it to Brandon. Brandon, it is your turn. You're sitting on top deck. You see Aiden curse at the dragon turtle as he looses an arrow, but it ricochets off the shell. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna roll. Can I do a perception to see where exactly, the head of the dragon turtle is located at?
Sure. Okay. So it's you see that it is crushed into the side of the ship, and part of its head is burrowed through the hole of the ship below.
I rolled a 14. I don't know
14.
if that's what you were. Yeah, for perception.
All right. You see. Yeah. So when you look down, yeah, you're fine. What is there
Okay.
something specific you're looking for, Brandon?
So what I was gonna do is I was gonna do an attack and kind of like jump off the side, right at the side of it, and try to like cut its head off. If I can do that.
You can try.
Buddy, you gonna have to swing hard as shit.
You're gonna say really hard.
Oh my god.
All right, so I'm gonna
Remember,
roll.
17 didn't hit.
I got a 19.
Oh.
Okay, so you leap over the side of the ship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you're trying to chop the head off of the turtle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as you come down, you're like, ah, damn turtle! It raises up out of the ship, and Bronco Bull pushes you up, and you flip backwards and fall into the water. So not only do you not hit, but you don't hit, and you're in the water.
And I don't swim.
You don't swim.
Oh, fuck.
Is that going to
Yeah, I
end
didn't
your
think
turn?
this one through, huh?
Do I have? Hold on, because I think I have.
Do you not know how to
skill.
swim, Gert?
I'm a dwarf. They don't swim very well.
So you guys all see this girl. He jumps up on the side of the railing of the ship, and he's like, "I'll take care of this." and he leaps off, and that's the last time you hear from Gert. You hear you're a clong and a plop.
No, it's not a plop. It's a.
Great. Ah. I was gonna
Yeah.
try to use shape water, but it doesn't work the way I wanted to.
Shape water is going to take another action. You've already used an action as your attack. So you can use a bonus action, or you can make an additional attack. But of course, you're in the water.
Yeah.
I
I was gonna try to somehow get me closer to the boat.
Let's
with
start.
shape water.
Sometimes you have to crawl before you walk,
Yeah.
and walk before you run. So let's start with treading water. Go ahead and give me athletics.
Athletics.
God, this is gonna be good.
I believe so. Swimming is wrapped up in athletics.
7.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
man.
good news, Gert. You're not letting that axe out of your sight. And you're like, you're holding on to the axe, and you're like, all right, all I gotta do is get back. And you're just sinking. But you've got your axe.
That's a plus.
That's a plus. Is that going to end your turn?
That's gonna have to end my turn because I can't do anything else.
Dean, as you're aboard the ship,
Oh,
you're
come on.
on
Freaking
top side.
chaos.
You see Lorik over there with his bow, and he's shooting at the dragon turtle. And all of a sudden, Gert jumps up, and he's like, "I'll handle this!" And he jumps over the board, and that's the last time you see him. What are you doing?
Well, captain of the ship, we just had a hole getting to the side of our ship. I've got a bunch of men.
Mm-hmm.
First action, telling some of the men to go down below and start patching that damn hole since the
There you
turtle
go.
decided to go yeet with freaking Gert.
That's why you're the captain.
Second part, have a couple other men throw a freaking buoy, or not a buoy, probably a bobber for Gert, to get his ass back in the water. Back in the boat, to make it much easier in general wise. Third off, we're on a ship that's equipped for traveling far distances, probably with cannons on it. Is that correct?
Yeah. You have cannons.
Okay. All right. Well, I got two ideas that are popping in my head right now. Idea number one. Let's find a way to tame this turtle for turtles to make the ship go faster. Because he's tough. He can be an ally.
You're fucking brilliant.
And it might be very helpful. Two, I don't think it's not gonna be an easy battle, and honestly, probably get the fuck out of there.
He
Because
could be
19's not even hitting.
He could
So
be
I think we have. Go ahead.
So,
he could be a weapon on the ship.
not on the ship. Let's be honest. He's a quarter of the size of the ship. He's most of the ship.
Yeah.
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 No, actually, if you take a look at the dragon turtle over here, he is the size of the ship. Actually. Pretty
Okay.
much. He's gargantuan.
If we
Yeah.
could get trained to it, and he could make us go faster. Like, imagine if we became such good allies with him, he, attacked the...
It's a really
could
good
maybe-
swimmer. It's a really good swimmer, but you guys are still faster than the dragon. You guys could outrun him. Of course, you have a hole in your ship, but
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we need to patch that hole first. Two, do hunters have an ability to be able to tame or? I've never played a hunter before.
yeah,
Or
We'll
as in
we'll see.
I want to kind of. We'll see. Okay. So, long story short, we're not going to be able to beat him. I'm going to yell to the crew to find the winds, set sail, and we need to, after we get Gert in the boat. To be honest with you.
Yeah, it's kind of like the
We're not
same
gonna
thing.
leave him.
Same thing I told Brandon before he jumped over the side of the ship. You can try.
Yeah, that's why when I heard the "we'll see," this is a encounter that I feel where if we do survive or get out of, we're going to be in rough shape,
All right, so Dean,
and I don't want to
you
be in rough
start
shape.
hollering at your crew about going down below to deal with the damages that have happened. And so, of course, you see Roger, and he is, takes the lead. So I'll take care of it, Captain. He gets a few men together, about 8 or 10 guys, and starts down below. Um, Meanwhile, you were talking about trying to get Gert, right? And so a couple of
Yep.
the crew members, they immediately, like, okay, and they just jump in after him, but they're, you see like 4 or 5 guys, they dive in. Uh,
Yeah.
Now then, you said something about cannons. We'll see, but you want to see if you can tame it before you try to blow it up. So, as far as that, is there action you're taking other than the, giving commands?
Action-wise, I honestly don't feel to be doing any form of action besides giving commands, because if I try to do something, I'm going to be in the same predicament as my allies, as
I
in
like it.
Ricochet and Bloop.
I like
Because I just feel like the
I
commands
think
tend to
you're
be
better
the best
off
type.
doing what you're doing right now anyway. So, Chris, you there? Drake.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you doing?
Doing well. Doing well. So there you were, minding your own business, when you see you notice that you're actually going down to get yourself a nice snack. Okay. You're on your way, who knows where, back home. You've washed up off the coast of Stygia, very stinky marshland, and you started to go out to sea to try to make your way to get yourself some food, fish, and whatnot. And you saw this dragon turtle out there. You thought you'd give it space. Chris, are you there?
Yeah, hang on 1 second, Pat. I'm sorry. My son just called me. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
I'll be right with you. Give me 1 second.
We'll take a quick break and we'll get back to it. Okay. I apologize, guys, for the interruption.
We'll be back after these messages.
Right.
Do you know how to swim? Do you want to learn how to swim? Well, come on down.
Are you looking for that perfect hemorrhoid cream? I'm probably going to end up pausing for a second. I got little sneakers trying to sneak out of their rooms.
Well, that's fine. Let's go ahead and just take a 10-minute break. Okay. We'll come back here around 9 o'clock. Okay.
9 o'clock.
No, it's 8:50 now.
That's perfect.
I'm coming back right now. We're cool.
Okay,
I'm coming back right
Okay,
now.
that works.
It's not my turn.
Yeah,
I
if that works,
can
is that
listen
cool?
and do a quick pause.
Yeah, go ahead, Dean. You're fine. It'll be a while before I get back around to your turn. Okay. All right. So, Chris, like I said, you were heading out to sea. You
Okay. All right. All right, that'll work. All right. Okay. That'll work. All right, I'll see you in the morning. All right, bro. All right, peace out. I'll go back. Sorry about that.
no
Right
families.
when he called me back,
You're fine. Family's more
I got to give
important
him a
than
ride
fantasy.
somewhere in the morning. And... So, all right, you were saying, my bad.
All right. No, you're
I was
fine.
minding my own business.
Like you said, you've had quite the journey. You were off the the Sword Coast somewhere in Faerun, and dealing with things with some guilds and whatnot, and the dealing with the guilds of Waterdeep, and somehow the Mist of Barovia, they swallowed you up, and you ended up in Barovia for. You spent almost a year there in the lands of Barovia, trying to find a way to free yourself and to free your friends that you'd made there. And somehow, one of your friends came across a wish ring. You remember that? You don't
I
remember
do.
much. You
That
don't
was
remember
highly
much
unusual.
else after that.
That works.
Kind of went chaotic a little bit. And when you come back, you're hearing the sounds of the ocean and so forth, and you've been placed somewhere in the salt waters of. Well, it can't. It's not Barovia. You can see the sun shining. You can taste the salt water. You hear the birds.
So I'm not really sure where I am.
Not exactly, but you know you're not in
I just
Barovia, and
know.
that's a blessing.
Yeah. So I'm in the ocean.
You're in the ocean,
So
and you saw this.
life is great.
As you're coming to grips with what's going on and stuff like that. You take yourself a nice little swim, and you can see that there's you know, a sea turtle, a large dragon turtle. You know what a dragon turtle is. You've been in the Sword Coast for a long time. You've seen your fair share of dragon turtles and always steered clear of them. And this time you do the same. And then you see as you come back up, and you're kind of like an otter, just eating your fish floating on the waves, watch the seagulls and whatnot. You see this ship start coming up. You're like, wow, that thing is getting awfully close to that dragon turtle. Of course, they don't know the dragon turtle's there because the dragon turtle's doing the same thing you're doing, feeding off this school of fish, and then it submerges. You're like, oh man, that ship's gonna run right into it, and it nearly does as the ship makes a correction. But then the sea turtle, you see, startled perhaps, whatever that may be, it lurches forward and attacks the vessel. Like, oh god. You see, of course, them go into action. They're fighting against the sea turtle. And you see this dwarf. You hear him exclaim, "I'll handle this!" And he jumps off the side, and you see him try as he may, and just belly flops right onto the side of the sea turtle, of this dragon turtle, that falls full armor right into the water. Starts dropping down below like a rock. He thinks he's doing pretty good.
I go down.
He's trying to you know tread water, but he's not buoyant at all. He's just going further and further down. It almost seems like his treading is making it worse, and he just plummets like a rock. So with that, Chris,
All right. At first, I was just gonna put myself on the deck of the boat and see if I could give aid. But at this point, whoever this dwarf is, he probably needs some help. So I dive down, and he can't sink faster than I can swim. So
No.
I get to him, and I get him to the surface.
Okay.
And when he gets to the surface, then I decide I'll talk to him, because talking to him underwater would be a waste of time, because he'll just be like, "Womp, womp, womp, womp."
So as you rise up to the surface, you're in the
Kinda like a
midst of
murloc.
you're in the midst of a battle, as you see that a number of crew members are leaning over the side of the ship with like harpoons and spears, trying to poke at the sea turtle or the dragon turtle. As others are actually swimming around it, trying to keep clear, and they're calling out the name, Gert, Gert, are you here, Gert? Brandon, you've
I
been
look at the dwarf.
raised from the bottom of the ocean practically to the surface suddenly by this elf. And with that, I
look
want to
over
see.
at the dwarf, and I'm like, I look at the dwarf, and I'm like, "Are you Gert?"
Yes, I am Gert. Thank you for saving my life. I'm
You
the
got
first mate
um,
of this ship.
Well, I'm betting that you'd be more helpful on the deck of the ship than in the water wearing the armor you're wearing.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I take the what is it? I gotta look at my character sheet real quick. I use a I do I want to do it that way? I can do it any way I want to. Do I want to burn that spell? I don't really want to.
Always the
So
decisions to make with a spellcaster.
that's what I'll do. Okay, so I cast Shape Water and use the water to push both of us up in the air. And as one of my special ability with the Storm Sorcerer deal, I have the what is it called? The one where is it?
You're basically
it's been a hot minute since I played this.
you like rocket up into the air.
Yes, basically, after that, any spell after I cast it, I can use that deal to like create like a wind gust. And I take the dwarf with me, and we fly over and land onto the. It puts me like 20, 30 feet in the air, and I fly over and land on the deck of the ship with dwarf in tow.
So, have you ever seen Aquaman like save like Wonder Woman at some point?
Yes.
You know, and kind of the same thing where you see, you know, Aquaman just up out of the water, does this flip and lands on the deck. Instead of Wonder Woman, it's this hairy soaked Gert. But yeah, this elf basically comes up off a platform that he's, you know, this squirt of water propels up out of the ocean, and from that you see this elf shoots up into the air about 30 or 40 feet, and then flips and lands on the deck of the ship behind you all, and in tow with him he has Gert. So that was pretty dramatic entrance.
What is your name, good sir? Thank you for saving my life.
You can call me Tars. It's short for Tarzinster, but that's a mouthful. You just call me Tars. T-A-R-Z, Tars.
He's good with 3-letter words.
4-letter words, but you know.
All right, and is that going to injure
whatever. Yeah, until I can ascertain what else is going on. Yeah, that'd do it.
Okay.
My turn.
Okay, so as you lurch onto the ship, you guys all see a big puff of steam bellow out from the side where the dragon turtle is, and then it begins to descend down underneath the waves. As the dragon turtle submerges once again and disappears beneath the waves, leaving you with your leaky ship. It seems it was just startled from you and suddenly lurched out and attacked you. And of course, with you guys attacking it back, it decided, you know, it's better off eating the school of fish than this ship. And it leaves you be. But it got you guys together anyway. As the crew comes down and sees you down below, Chandler. Chandler, you're completely saturated with water and so forth. And the bunch of crew members come down. Roger is kind of leader of the crew, and they see you there pushing planks and so forth up against the hull of the ship in order to try to stop the leak. Chandler, can I get a strength check from you?
8.
I can probably help with that.
Hold on. You see a couple of the members of the crew. They come from behind you and they start to push to try to help. Roll again with advantage.
Noise.
I can also help you if you need my help.
17.
He's down below. He's by himself. So,
17.
all right. So You manage to push the boards of the planks to get to the hull of the ship in order to try to contain the water. Meanwhile, members of the crew they come with mallets and nails and they start to pound away at it, and they thank you immensely for your help with for helping stop the leak on the ship. Although it's temporary, and they'll need to have repairs
Um,
made more fully later. This gentleman named Roger, he pats you in the back. He says, "I'm glad that you were here. I don't know if we could have got this leak done on our own had the whole ship been filled up with water. We'll take it from here. But Keem, please follow me." And he starts ordering the members of the crew to start bailing the water out of portholes in the ship to get rid of the water that has accumulated in the bottom. He
so,
Chris, so if you just pause for one moment, Chris, I apologize for I'm just trying to get a little narration, get you guys all together. Okay, that's kind of part of my job as the DM. So Roger, he grabs you on the shoulder, okay, and he says, "Thank you for your assistance. I don't know if we could have done this, and starts taking you up top deck, and he brings you over to Dean, okay, or the captain, Valor,
Devento.
Vidin. Say that again.
Devento.
Devento.
Captain Devento. Vaughn.
Vaughn DeVinto. Okay. Captain Vaughn. This mercenary, he helped us with dealing with the patch of the hole below. I don't know that we would have been able to have done the repairs as quickly as possible as we did without his help. We have the rest of the crew bailing out the rest of the water, but I just thought you should know that without his help, I don't think we would be as shipworthy as we are right now.
Good sir, what is your name? And what is your name? And what is your occupation? Mine went faster than what I could speak. Thank you for your help. What is your occupation on this ship? And what is your name, sir?
My name is Finn, and I am a mercenary y'all brought along.
Okay. Roger, do me a huge favor. Get this gentleman some extra rations. Get him an extra thing of summer sausage as well for helping.
Love me some summer sausage.
All right, let's get this ship back and going, and let's replot and re-go on our journey ahead. And future-wise, let's not do
How
that
much-
again. And go ahead.
how much water has your ship taken on?
I'm getting ready to check that right now. I'm not 100% for sure. I've been up top here for now on, for the most part. Who are you, by the way? I saw you save my first mate. I appreciate that.
My name is Tarzenster. You can call me Tars, but I can get the water out of your boat, out of your ship.
All right.
Right.
Go ahead, Patrick.
Faster
No.
than
I mean, that's nice. It's always nice to have a spellcaster.
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, I
Yes,
can
go,
get the water off.
go down below and give hands to where you're needed. That will help out as possible and possible future employment.
Well, that'll work. I'll help you get the leak in your boat, your ship fixed, and then we can talk about where here is.
Perfect. That'll work out great.
So
I'm Captain
the same guy-
Devento, by the way.
Nice. It was a pleasure to meet you, Captain, and I'm glad I was in the area to help.
Me too.
the
Not
same
as
guy-
much as Kurt, though.
the same guy that brought Vaughn, brought
Gert.
Chandler to Vaughn, brings you, Tars. This is Roger, the greasy Roger, down below to deal with the water. He says, "I've got about 8 men bailing out the water right now, but it could take about an hour or two to get it completely done to the point we could go."
But I don't know that hole can be fixed unless we dry dock.
Okay, so Pat, I kind of investigate where the hole is. They've got what? Just a big board put up against it right now to try to slow the water leak?
That's correct.
Okay. So, how much water has this area taken on? Has it gone flowed down below decks, or is it all just in this one area?
It seems to be contained to that chamber. There's about it's up to about your not quite to your knees, but it's up to your calves. It's almost a foot deep.
Really? That's not bad. And how big is this room?
It's about this particular chamber is about 20 by 20.
So it
It's one of
probably
the cargo chambers.
so using shape water, I can move and manipulate 5 cubic feet of water per casting, and I can cast that as many times as I want because it's a cantrip. So
Okay.
and I can manipulate the water that's within 5 cubic feet as well, which would prevent water from coming into the boat through the hole. So I'm going to send the water that's in the room out the hole, and then cast shape water, so I basically create a barrier on the outside of the ship right where the hole is, so that we don't have any more water entering that way. And that should at least take care of the situation until we can get to a dock. And if I need to stay around here and come down here and recast it, I gotta check and see what the duration on that spell is. But
Yeah, you
I remember when I first made this character, somebody was telling me that this cantrip was a useless cantrip, and I think they're
it's
wrong.
not.
No.
It's not.
It's 30. It's 30 feet by 5
only
feet.
thinking about combat. When you're only thinking about combat usage, then it becomes a useless spell. But it has a lot.
So I stay down here until all the water in this chamber is gone, and then I use that shape water to keep the water off the outside, so the guys that are actually working on the space can actually seal in whatever they need to seal in and dry it up with tar or whatever it is they need to dry it up with, and that way it's dry, and then they can seal it up, and then I can release the spell, and then it should be fine until we get somewhere where they can do more permanent repairs.
All right, so George, you're down there with your spell casting and whatnot, telling about stories of your journey as members of the crew try to help by bailing water out some of the portholes that are above the water level. And you're pushing the water out that way as well, as you tell your little stories of your journey of how you ended up here and whatnot from, this land named the Sword Coast. They say, I don't know where the Sword Coast is. We're at I don't know anything about a place named Faerun. We call this place Thalia.
Well, it's got a sun overhead, and that's way better than where I've been. So this is an upgrade.
You're a welcome addition as you're using your magic to, basically using water to stop the water from being water with water is boggling their mind. But yeah, so with that, you guys continue your journey a little bit further. Before long, Tars, the water down below is done with, and it seems like everything's holding pretty well. It seems like your work is done down. Is there anything anyone would like? I'm gonna hand it over to you guys right now.
I'm gonna take off my armor so that way it can dry and I can properly dry off and everything. Because taking almost a permanent swim, I don't want it to get rusted and everything. So I'm gonna take off my armor, dry it off real good, and make sure I'm nice and dry and everything.
Okay. I like that.
I make my way back to the deck.
Perfect. That I'm going to actually talk with Tars ask if you were pretty much Tars. I appreciate all of your help. If you would like, you can definitely join our crew. We are a crew of merchants that are traveling to head to. We are heading to. Are we heading to Manon right now, or Damos? Damios?
That is correct.
So
That is your
apparently,
destination.
this is a world that I'm not from, so I'm not familiar with this place. As part of your crew has filled me in on, I'm from a world named Faerun. I come from the Sword Coast, and they've let me know that
Okay.
this is not that place. So I have got nowhere to be and no way to get there. So if you have me in your crew, I'd gladly join your crew. I think I could pull my weight.
Yeah, for all the
And
help that you ended
you're
up doing for
on
us,
the water
You definitely,
as
you
a,
definitely saved my
as a
life.
sea elf. As a sea elf, I would also come in handy in the fact that when dealing with stuff in the water, I can communicate with anything that has fins and swims. And they
he's
generally will
Aquaman.
not bother. Yeah,
Sure, your
basically.
name's
That's
not
all a
Arthur.
sea elf. No, it's not. But that's pretty much a standard with all aquatic elves. So,
Very nice.
That is pretty cool.
dragon
Well,
turtle different. Yeah.
yeah. So,
Like I said,
get this guy a bunk, get him all set up. He is a
Yeah.
part of the crew. I pull Gert off to the side, kind of by himself as of right now, and as in keep it on the so it's just me and him discussing. Keep it on the down low what we're specifically doing. We're merchants, as he knows of right now. Until we get to know him better, I trust him to an extent. He just came aboard,
Dwarvish?
so as of right now, we are just merchants.
Are you speaking Dwarvish?
Yes, I'm speaking Dwarvish.
Okay. I agree.
And until we get to know him a little better, just a trust thing, you know.
But do keep in mind, Captain. You know, he did save my life, so I do owe him that. He did save me from drowning, because I was trying to keep us afloat.
Yes, I do respect the dwarvish honor on that type of thing, but you know, a king's fool sometimes turns into an assassin.
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly.
All right, so as of right now, I'm just going to pass along to the crew just bits and pieces, and kind of do it in a subtlety type of way until we get to know this elf. We're merchants. We're just merchants.
Yeah.
they nod in agreement. They're like, okay, Captain, we understand. Chandler.
Awesome.
Chandler over there.
Yes.
Your equipment's kind of wet from the endeavor with the dragon turtle. Moist. You see
That boy said it.
Gert over there, the first mate. The first mate is drying out his equipment. You wonder maybe if you should do the same. So you make your way over and take a seat next to Gert, taking off your boots. Is there anything you'd like to say to him?
Was that you I heard fall off the ship?
Yes, I was. Matter of fact, I was actually going to cut the head off the sea turtle so it can get off our ship, and that way we can properly repair or temporarily repair the ship, so that way we can continue our voyage.
Did you never learn to swim?
Well, us dwarves, we don't swim.
They don't swim.
We're from the mountain.
We
And,
dig holes.
So dwarves, they're like rocks. They don't swim, they don't float, they sink. And I had armor on, so it made it even worse.
What good is a dwarf who cannot swim? Especially in a land of nothing but sea.
tend to stay afloat on the boat, so that was the first time doing that. So I learned my lesson.
So, am I nearby this conversation?
Yeah, you overhear it.
Gert, I'll tell you that at some point, if I have the ability to, I'll help you out. If I meet any of my kin on this planet, our armor is buoyant, and it won't make you sink like a rock. So if you're going to be a ocean going dwarf, your armor should be something that is buoyant and not poof. Otherwise, you should not have the armor on when you go overboard. Huh?
I was wondering if I'm
What was
close
that?
enough for the conversation as well.
Because you should not wear metal armor when you go overboard.
Sure, you're all
That's
you're all
right.
breathe underwater.
mission going on.
So, I'm going to do a little bit of a lecture as well. As in, Gert, you're my first mate. Your job is to stay on the boat. You have nobody to impress here.
But also,
So-
Captain, I was risking my life to save everybody on the ship.
Yo ho, fiddly dee. Being a pirate is so fun to be.
Very heroic. Very
Roger
heroic.
speaks up. Roger taps you on your shoulder there, Gert. It's like, that's very noble of you, Gert. That is very noble. But much like
Sorry, I had a. I will be AFK just for a second.
You good?
I had a daughter sneak out and scare the bejesus out of my wife. So,
all right, you're good.
all right, 1 second.
So Roger hears you talking, Gert, and taps you on your shoulder. He says, "If you don't mind me saying so, Master Gert, you're not expendable. You're a very valued resource. Someone like me, you know, we're the type that get put in rowboats with explosives. You know, not the first.
Do those members of the crew wear red shirts?
He asks,
Just checking.
do your new crew know the story of why you call the ship the Greasy Roger?
No, Roger, go ahead and I'll let you tell the tale.
Oh no, sir. I couldn't spoil your spotlight.
All right. So, Tars and Finn. And quick question, Patrick, does Aiden know about the story?
No, Aiden wasn't on board your guys' ship, so he may have a
Right.
different perspective of how it all happened.
That's right. All right. So, Lorik, Finn, and Tars. We were making our voyage and we came across the ship that we're currently on, which was ran by pirates. Well, the captain and I, we came up with a plan of making a shrapnel bomb. And we put Roger here on a little dinghy, and he set sail to two different ships that were attacking our fleet, that we were a part of. Well, we're getting boarded and everything by the pirates, and we get done with them, and we look over and we see Roger going over to the two ships and igniting this shrapnel bomb and jumping off the dinghy, and we managed to meet up with him and get him out of the and back onto the ship. Now, the reason why it's called Greasy is because the captain decided to put fat and grease on the railing of one side of our ship that we were boarded on, and that way, in case if it got boarded, we would be able to. They would get to the railing and they would slip off because of the grease. Therefore, eliminating those those pirates.
And Roger also greased himself up to make him swim faster.
Yes, yes.
So he was the greased up deaf guy after he literally blew up the ship.
And thus, the ship is the Greasy.
The legend of Greasy Roger and the shrapnel
The
bomb.
Greasy Roger. Very cool.
Yeah.
A fair name for a fair ship.
Honestly, I
Yeah.
actually do like that ship name.
I really do too.
Let us tell you the story of the legendary Greasy Roger.
All right. That's what Gert was just telling. Actually, was the story of the Greasy Roger.
Yep.
How the Greasy Roger got its name, and Roger's like, I was the hero that day, and they even named the ship after me. But even I'm expendable. But you're not. You shouldn't be doing stupid things like that. Forgive me for saying stupid, Master Gert.
You're okay.
And then he, please allow me to forgive my. Please forgive me. Let me excuse myself. There's much work to be done.
Yes, sir.
Is that your character sheet there? Then
Supposed to be the image, but I can't get it to open.
Oh, okay.
Oh well. No worries. I don't know why it came up as a file. It's really not what I had in mind.
So let me go ahead and get a. I believe I was having you guys roll a d12. Let me get another one.
Who's gonna do it? I like to do it. I can roll D12.
Rolled a 2.
A 2.
I rolled a 2 as well.
Okay. So you rolled a 2 as. Oh, we got 2 rolls of 2.
So
I
I
got a
guess we're
2.
going with the 2.
Going with 2. So you guys get back to cutting the waves with your ship along your way around the coast of Kandor on your way to the northern lands of between Stygia and the southern lands of Kandor. Anyway, you're making your way around Kandor. You're gonna be seeing the coast of Kandor for quite a while as it first just comes into view, and you're basically going between where the peninsula of Kandor meets the top part of Stygia below the southern continent. And granted, there's a few miles that go between them. It's like the channel between, almost like the English Channel. And it's several miles in between. But as you're passing by, you can see that there's a couple of ships that are making their way to out into the sea towards your direction. Now they're still a couple of miles off. Okay. And you're just now noticing them. 2 ships about the same size as yours, same class. The man in the crew's nest, he pulls up a telescopic lens and takes a look, and he looks down at you and says, "Captain, it's pirates."
So they're
Now they're still miles off. They're still miles off. You know.
Yeah, I understand. So we're kind of going through a canal type thing or whatnot, and they're coming towards us, miles off.
Well, can you access roll 20 there?
Yeah, I'm on roll 20 right now. I'm looking at it.
So you see where the southern tip of Candor and the northern tip of Stygia are?
Yeah, that little canal in between.
Yeah, so that's where you guys are passing through. And from the southern end of it, where Stygia is, southern part of it, you see two ships start making their way up north. Now, they're just seeming like they're heading in your general direction, but they are pirates and you are staged as a merchant vessel, so you do the math.
Yeah, so they're more or less coming towards us to see what merchandise we have.
Right. Other than that, no event.
It's one.
But at this time, they're miles off.
Two of
But
them.
what would you like?
Yeah.
Maybe try to speed up, change your course.
Yep, that's
Continuous-
exactly what we're going to do. We're going to end up subtly changing direction to just make it seem like that we're kind of following the wind, but away from them. And I tell the crew that as in like, gentlemen, we need to change our directions, make it smooth. It seems like we're following, so we're not avoiding them. Because if they notice that we're avoiding them, they will come after us. Would I have to roll like any specific type of check to be able to try to for the ship?
Well, you're wanting to speed up, right?
Yeah, speed up and also kind of change course subtlety. So,
Yeah. Okay. So let's. We're going to be doing for this sort of thing, doing maybe you could even go as far as like consulting your map. So you're looking at your map now, right?
correct. Yes.
Okay. So you can see that there is, different options here. You could try to turn around completely and hit that city there. Maybe you'd be able to make it there before the pirates are upon you. And of course, they're not going to fuck with you in an inhabited city, are they?
That's Banner, correct?
Or maybe you can make it to one of the rivers up ahead of you, disappear in one of the rivers, and make your way up north there. You might be able to evade them or whatever that way. There are small islands and so forth that you'll be passing by. And if you look at the southern tip there is a small cluster of islands, is there not?
Correct, yes.
Maybe
Well,
you
like
could
one
lose
larger
them.
island.
Maybe you could lose them there. I don't know.
So,
What do you think?
Am I visually wise? Let's. Okay, if you're looking at Stigaya, the in between, kind of, you know how there's the three islands that's to the left of it. I'm trying to ping it, but I can't. The in between the bottom, kind of there, and kind of curveballing it, keeping right there, and then once we see them pass, we cut diagonal through to the top of it, and then just kind of as close as possible to the shoreline without hitting any reefs, and get past them. As in kind of do kind of a sails down, wait, sails up, go. If that makes any sense.
Pulling Houdini, the disappearing act.
Yeah, pretty much using the islands as cover, and then having our guy up top tell us when we're clear.
So what you're going to do, what I'm going to ask you to do, because you're going to be doing the navigating and the so forth, and all the ordering and the whatnot, make a survival for me, okay?
I'm going to make a what? I'm sorry.
A survival. And what you're going to be doing is you're plotting out this plan and so forth and trying to put in all the details and such and make sure everyone knows their parts in it. So I'm going to ask you to make me a survival check. Now,
All right.
you can make this check with advantage if maybe like Gerd or members of the crew would be assisting you with trying to do the plotting, which of course I'm sure they would.
Yeah, we're a team, brah. Yes, we are a team, so I would like to have their assistants to be able to give their mindsets on what to do for this. Not just
I'll
me.
help you out.
All right. Which one of you biznitches has
What do we
the
roll?
best survival?
Well, this
Survival.
is just going to give Dean advantage. So, Dean, go ahead and survival check this time with advantage.
All right. Nat 20. I'm not touching it. I'm going to show you.
I believe you. I believe you. And what is the total of the check then?
22.
22. So
Do you
that's
still
a
want us to roll?
very good. I'm just going to say it's going to be very difficult for them to, match it, and that's kind of what we're doing here. Is I'm going to be doing the same thing on my end. I'm going to make a survival check to try to, how would I say, head you off of the path.
Okay.
Of course, you know what I roll. Therefore, you're not going to know if you're successful or unsuccessful until you know. Well, there we go. So, why don't you give me a little more details to your plan as far as what you're planning on doing, travel-wise? You're making your way towards this set of islands, is that right? Or you're making your way towards the coast of Stygia, right?
Yeah, the left side where it has those three islands,
Okay.
kind of going in between the bottom little bitty island and the middle little bitty island, sails down, just kind of gonna sit there, use the island as cover, and when they pass on through northwise, we'll have our crow's nest guy keep an eye out, and right when we see them pass far enough, as in like far enough away where we can cut the shoreline without hitting any coral and get past them, kind of hug the shoreline. So we're honestly kind of stealthing the ship.
Okay. All right, sounds good. All right, so let me get some perception checks from everybody.
Oof.
20.
7.
17.
I'm in the middle of some. I rolled really bad.
Okay.
I'm focusing on what my plans are and not really focusing on anything else because I rolled up in 7.
I rolled a
I got
nat 1 before I add my bonus to it.
Oh.
I got a
Yeah,
nat.
so I'm
Okay. So, Tars, you go down to recast your spell. Dean, you're calculating on the maps, making sure you're whatever, this, that, and the other, relying on your crew to keep an eye out. Chandler, what was your perception?
25 in total.
Okay, so Brandon and Finn, Lorik, and Gert all sit at the bow of the ship, and you're looking out, waiting for these ships to pass by the other side of the island. And sure enough, they do. And so then you're watching and you're waiting. Let me get some stealth checks from you.
With it being because I get disadvantage with wearing armor. With it being the ship, does that count as a disadvantage still?
I got a.
I'm just asking these three to do.
Okay, gotcha. Understandable.
I got a 20 with a disadvantage.
Patty. How far away is
30,
this ship? Are these ships?
How does Matt say it? Don't worry about They're a good 300 yards off, so they're not close.
300
Gert,
yards off.
about 300 yards off. Gert, you thinking on your feet. Remember that you're more than just a dwarf with an axe, and you muster up a spell, and you create a fog between the ship and those ships. Okay,
That's right.
to
I got that.
heal you as they pass by. Okay, and you guys managed to hunker down and maintain the fog as the ships go and continue on in the ocean deep, leaving you all behind. A good 30 or 40 minutes go by, and there's no sign of it.
Okay.
All right.
I'm
Looks
glad
clear.
you said that, Patrick. I completely forgot about fog cloud.
Hey,
I helped you
what's
make the
the
character.
name again? Your name is
The what?
Vento. Captain Vento, right?
DeVento.
Mhm.
Von DeVento. Kind of like Danny DeVito. Von DeVento.
Yeah,
DeVento.
exactly.
All right.
Correct.
I'm gonna go find the captain, and I'm gonna be like, Captain DeVento. If they get any closer, and they have to get within about 100 to 200 feet from us, which is pretty freaking close. But if they are coming in that range, I could create a tidal wave toward at least one of them if they're close enough to each other to both of them. Enough to get them to want to move and turn in a different direction. Not anything
Okay.
super high, like about 30, 40 feet wide by 10 feet high, blah, blah, and so on.
Yeah, I would definitely, if there's any danger that's that close, don't be afraid to do that. That is
Okay.
a very, very
That's what
good
I call a tidal
use.
wave. I like that.
Yeah.
If you ever hear Von DeVento say deploy countermeasures, that's exactly what he's talking about.
Boy,
The code word is Taiwan.
Taiwan? Taiwan.
That's fine.
Taiwan. It's messed up, but yeah, tsunami. Yeah, sorry.
So yeah, the encounter goes by, and of course the ships they disappear. Time elapses, and you guys begin your journey yet again.
Sweet.
And you guys know how this ends. Roll me a d12.
All right.
Is
I
this
gotta-
just 1d12?
Just one of you.
11.
Maybe someone can decide who's going to roll.
Okay, just one.
Oh yeah, we need to decide who's gonna roll. Yeah, I kind of agree. Everyone of the brothers rolling.
This is a team building exercise right here.
Or we can,
All right,
take
everybody, roll a d6. Whoever's got the highest rolls the 12.
All right, I like it.
I rolled a 4.
I rolled a 5, mofo.
I rolled a 5 as well.
All right, the 3 that rolled a 5, roll another d6. 6.
4.
You got it.
All right, who's rolling it?
All right.
Is it Dean?
I rolled it.
Roll good.
Yep.
Pat, when you get a minute, I got a question.
Go ahead and ask.
So that tidal wave spell is a third level spell, and it's not like most spells where at levels it gives you the ability to boost it. I'm wondering, with my sorcery points, if I spend a point or two, can I double or possibly triple the area of effect?
Is that what one of the abilities that you have?
Well, I can use the sorcery points to buy spells, and spells. So I'm just
Right.
wondering, it doesn't give me any gear, anything toward that particular spell. I'm just wondering if I was willing, if I could do it, and if so, how many sorcery points would I have to spend to do that?
Well, normally the abilities you take uh, for your sorcery points, it has a description in the way that it affects the spell. So it depends on the way that you're using the thing to how it affects it. But yes, definitely you can. Okay, and we'll definitely cross that bridge when we get to it. I'm outside right now. I'll need to be sitting at my to do it. I'm just hanging out, doing things, shooting from the hip right here. So,
Okay. Oh, literally shooting from the hip. I got you.
yeah. So
You're watering the plant.
right.
Ran in the main
You
game.
no, I'm just outside hanging out. I don't have all my notes in front of me. I just have a few things just to run. What we're doing right now is just travel. Travel is simple. You guys roll dice, and I decide what comes.
I rolled a 4.
4.
Not a
We'll
four.
roll.
Not
My
a four.
first roll
Never a
technically
four.
was an 11. The roll that I won the die roll with was a, whichever you want to go with.
I would like to get a D4.
He rolled a four
Was
and
it?
he rolled a four. I think you should go with.
I would like you to roll a D4, please.
D4. A door. No.
I need to download me a cool
A
background.
1.
I
Okay.
rolled a 1.
Okay. That's okay. It's okay. Sometimes it's a good thing to roll a 1.
Exactly.
So you guys are still traveling. You guys get back on track, making your way across the canal, and you begin making your way through the coast. Now, the southern lands of Kandor are a little precarious, a little strange. It's kind of shallow. It's a little shallower than it seems. It seems like a deep gulf, but it's not. In fact, they talk about. Let me get some history checks. Let's see what they talk about.
Let's find out what they talk about. Alrighty. History check.
Am I actually rolling a history check?
I got a
17.
I got a 10.
15 plus 2.
I would probably
17.
not have a clue as to any history here.
No, I'll give you disadvantage.
Me?
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
How would that? I mean, I have history, but all right. I'm actually rolling history here too.
Because you may history, you may know some about the cosmos, my friend. You are
The cosmos.
you are
man.
arcane through and through. So
Okay, so I have disadvantage. Well, I rolled a 12 and a 1. So
you don't know
and my
shit.
history is plus. I have a 5. My history is plus 4. It makes it a 5. Thanks for the disadvantage roll. Love you.
All right.
He ain't no
So,
shit.
I'm going to go around. I'm going to ask Chandler, what did you get?
I got a 3.
The 3. You don't know.
I know more than he does. I know nothing.
You don't know much about the world outside of Chimeria. You know where to buy the steel and where to buy the armor, and you know where to buy the drink. That's all you need to know. What about you, Dean? What did you get?
17.
What about you,
plus
Aiden?
2.
Aiden?
Chandler, you're.
I got a 10.
10. And Brandon?
Also a 10.
So Brandon and Aiden, and even Dean, you know at least that there used to be a kingdom. That this area that you're sailing over right now used to be dry land. It used to be a vast land. There's some kingdom named Aquilonia that once was here. But little know whatever happened.
Wait a minute. Where are we on the map?
You're in the southern part of Candor.
Part of it's underwater now?
Yeah. Dean.
Okay.
Dean.
Yes, sir.
You are some of that few that know a little bit more about what took place here. They say that there was a god king named Cal, and he was a paladin that served through centuries. Had a very long life due to supernatural gifts given to him. And he had a large reign for a long time. There was a point where there wasn't a channel between Stygia and Candor, that they were one land, one long, vast land. And it was now it was all like marshland in the area south of where you were. That the rocky of Candor, and that there was a great city named Aquilonia upon those rocky mounts, looking over into the vastness of the sea below and the lands of Stygia to the south. It was a great wealth of knowledge, and also the home of what they call the 5 dragons, which were 5 powerful paladins that rode upon dragons that protected the lands of Candor from the evils throughout the land.
Freaking Targaryens.
They had a reign for a long time until eventually darkness did fall upon Aquilonia, and years later the Paladins was disbanded after Cal perished, and then a reign of terror began in Aquilonia as vampires came into power and were then finally vanquished by great heroes. But in the battle, there was a great catastrophe, and Aquilonia now lies beneath the waves that you now sail upon.
Gentlemen, we need to keep sailing. This is bad. Oh, yeah.
And as you say that, you hear a
Freaking sirens.
you hear something, some beautiful sound off in the distance. You can't quite place it. You don't know where it's coming from. Let me get some perception checks.
Aye. Oh, okay, good. I thought you were going to say Constitution saving throw or something like that. I was like, crap.
Perception.
You said perception.
11, 16.
I got
22.
7.
As you guys look up, you see in
I
the
got
waves
15.
there's a woman. You see a woman out in the waves, I said. Okay? You guys, one of you would exclaim and looked up and saw this woman swimming out in the waves with red hair. She looks like she's not wearing a top.
Freaking
Like
Ariel.
there's no brassiere or anything. You see her as God made her, sitting out there in the waves, singing.
Pat, being I mean, this isn't the world I'm from, but being from the ocean, do I know what this is?
Everyone can roll me nature, arcana checks, even checks if you'd like. Whatever you're best at.
I got a 14 on history check.
Yeah, I'm 2 on each, so let's see how I go. I'm at
I rolled a
11.
9. So that'd be a
And we got
3.
4.
I got a 13 on history check.
11 on history.
23.
23. You definitely know what this is, Tars. You don't have to be from here what a mermaid is. Most of you could put that together. Dean, those of you that roll lower than a 12, you're not quite sure. You're just like, there's some girl out there. She's pretty. Maybe we should help her. And the rest of you like, that's a mermaid. And she'll drown you.
So, in most cases, the merfolk and the aquatic elves are generally on friendly terms.
Yeah.
So, I offer to go try to see what this particular mermaid wants, or merfolk wants, and see if it's alone, if they want me to.
Sorry.
Okay.
The captain has ran to the bathroom. He was about to poop himself from seeing that.
No,
yes,
no.
I will.
I had a son that had to go potty.
Wait for him to get back.
Irony. I had an AirPod in. No, you're good.
Oh, okay.
No, my son got up, and I was wondering why he was up, but he had to go potty. So same similarity.
No, you're good. I thought you were gonna be a minute, so I was gonna go ahead and
No,
say he's good.
You're good. So, well, first off, I think that's perfect. So, Finn ended up was it Finn, right? The Tars explained that you guys have a kind of a friendly term with the mermaids.
Yeah, usually.
Okay, so he can be kind of our ambassador, but not leaving the boat. I can see him leaving, and then him kind of getting torn apart. Nom nom.
You're going to change the direction of the ship to engage the mermaid in conversation?
No, I'm not changing the direction of the ship. I'm changing the positioning of the elf. And then he can yell.
Yeah, basically he's saying if I go off the boat and something happens, they really can't do anything to help me.
No, we'd leave him. No offense, we'd leave you.
What are you doing, Tars?
She's a what? How far away is she?
She's about 90 feet out in the water.
All
She's just spreading water, it seems, singing.
So I get to the edge of the ship, and in Aquan, which is like the common, it's this aquatic elf, but it's also like, I basically yell out to her and ask her what she wants and what her business is. Identify myself and who I am, and
No.
As you call out to her, she giggles and darts below the waves, disappearing below the waves.
And you want me to stay on the boat, correct?
Oh yeah, sail, and we're just gonna sail on. I'm not. Nope. Go. Nope.
So I will tell you that in most cases, mermaids, when they're doing this type of stuff, are doing this to gain treasures and take advantage of sailors. If they're in this water on a regular basis, and you are going to be sailing back and forth in this area from time to time, wouldn't it be nice to have an entire merfolk community kind of on your side in case you're being attacked or something in this area? They might come to your aid. I only say that because it might be worth the risk. And it's not like I'm going to drown.
I understand. If you're willing to take that risk and something happens, and something bad happens, you are going to get left. I'm just letting you know. We will give you, I'm going to say 20 minutes. Go down there, see what's up. If not, we are going to get going.
Nice to meet you, Tars. Bye, Tars.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye, Tar.
Right.
What was that? What was that aquatic elves day that we met that one day?
Oh yeah,
You know
it was
the
a
one,
four-letter
the one
word.
that gave your
Yeah, but also I've seen Pirates of the Caribbean when the mermaids are also like really beautiful, but also rip sailors apart.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, I'm aware.
Most of our, pretty much every single one of our men, besides Lorcan, doesn't have to worry about going into the water because Lorcan, it's not a big old muscular orc that's in the water, so we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I'm good on that. Not my type.
Well, we'll just keep going. That's fine with me.
So,
That winch.
if you like to, if you would like to explore, 20 minutes. We can just keep sailing. Because right now we're on an agenda. We're on a schedule right now for our boss on a tight schedule.
Well,
Let's rephrase that.
we're gonna have to come back this way at some point, right?
That is correct.
Well, then if we run into these and them again, we can deal with it then.
You got that right.
Okay.
When we're not heading somewhere.
I agree with that.
And if
I
it becomes an
wholeheartedly agree.
issue, after the next day or so, it's an issue. As we go, we can deal with it as it becomes more of an issue.
Yep.
Right now, she's just singing in the water. That's fine.
He's singing in the sea.
Mhm.
So onward. Oh, I was doing the Pirates of the Caribbean, and you were doing the Little Mermaid.
All right, so you guys continue forward, journey. You guys, make your way pretty far. If you guys are watching the map, you guys aren't here anymore. You encountered the pirates over here in this area, and you guys continue. You make your way up through the southern parts of Candor, and you continue to make your way across what you might call the Gulf here. And as you're making your way, you once again are hearing.
Ah, great. Someone toss her a fish.
You see, you look up, and you see not one, but three of these mermaids, and they're over there in the water, and they're singing. They're still a good distance away, about 100 feet out, give or take from the ship. Let me get some perception checks, please.
10.
18.
18.
22.
17.
5.
1.
You say
You
20.
didn't have a bonus?
20.
You say 25.
What's it? 0?
Did somebody roll a 25? I heard.
Yeah.
Okay, so 25, 22, 17, 18.
Yep.
So Dean, you're looking at these beautiful mermaids, and you're kind of making sure that your coat's on right. Meanwhile, the three of you see that on the other side of the boat, there's three more, and they're about half the distance closer, about 50 feet off.
Oh boy.
We need to leave.
Can I get everyone to go ahead and roll me a charisma saving throw?
Is it like versus charm?
Something like that. You're not going to have to worry
I don't have to roll it.
about it.
18.
18.
15.
My
Oh, I have
my
advantage. I'm
lags a
sorry.
little bit, so
Yeah. Advantage.
I
Oh,
went ahead
yeah.
and rolled again.
Let me get
I had
those.
advantage on all charms.
Let me get
I
those
got a
checks,
2.
gentlemen.
I'm doing. It's a saving throw, right?
Yeah. Brandon, what did you roll?
Oh, wisdom. All right.
Brandon?
For charisma,
That is
Wisdom.
correct.
I got an 18.
18. Dean, what did you roll?
It's wisdom or charisma.
I rolled a 15.
Charisma. 15.
Was it wisdom or charisma? Charisma.
Charisma.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, yeah, better. So that'd be a 20 or a 26. I think I saved it either way.
26, yeah.
The 26 was with the.
What about you, Chandler?
I got an 18.
18.
Who's going swimming?
And you, Aiden?
2.
Fucking Aiden.
I believe you're Elven, correct? You do get advantage.
Ooh.
Oh, so I can go again. Okay.
Yeah, elves are really difficult, hard to charm and manipulate. Man.
Oh man, not that much better. No.
Your charisma.
What kind of elf are you?
So, Aiden, Dean,
Oh, Woodbridge.
man, these girls are really pretty. And you're looking at them and you're like, man, I need to be out in the water with them. And so you start
Oh, no,
making your
no.
way to the side of the ship and start putting your leg. Now the rest of you guys are like,
I'm.
ooh, you guys are really enticed, but you're not that enticed. You just see them
Who
throwing
is it?
forward. Chris, just give me a moment, bud. Okay. So you see them making their way towards the edge of the ship, okay, to basically throw themselves overboard. They don't seem like themselves. Their eyes, they seem a little bit glazed over. They're kind of just walking almost like they're smelling cinnamon buns. Following their nose like toucan sand.
Oh God. Yeah.
What would
I
you
bring
like to do?
Is
I'm going
the
to.
one player character heading off the boat too?
So Dean and Aiden both. So yeah, Lorik and Von DeVinton.
I'm going to
All right.
go. I'm going to make a suggestion to aquatic elf to conjure up some water, like a cup full of water, and splash it on their face to try to get them to wake up.
Yeah, I can't do that. I can manipulate water that's already here, but I can't just create water out of thin air.
Well, yeah, we're in
don't
the ocean though.
Yeah. I mean, I can cast shape water and pull water off from the water and splash the 3 guys that are heading toward the edge of the edge and see if
Yeah.
that not breaks their concentration. And in the meantime, I'm
Yeah.
going to head to try to get between them and the edge of the boat.
Yeah, I'm also gonna do that as well.
So you guys are positioning yourselves between them and the edge of the boat. So you guys go over and you're trying to grab them and pull them away from the edge of the boat. Let me get some
we're
strengths.
gonna be like in between.
Let me get some strengths from
I got a bet.
you.
So I have a 14.
14. Lorik
I rolled a
and
6.
Dean. Let me get some strength checks from you, but we're going to make these a disadvantage.
Okay.
You're not yourself.
I mean, my strength is a 14.
Okay, 20, dirty 20, and 9.
Okay.
So
Lorik?
9.
Lorik, Aiden,
Yeah.
I need a strength check from you at disadvantage.
So
Yeah,
my
I got a
strength
six.
is a.
Yes,
Do
thank
I
you.
need to roll a strength?
Yes, you do.
I'll wait. I'll wait.
Ooh. The bells are going crazy. Bong.
So is there 9 of them? Or 3 on one side, 3 on the other?
It's
So
3 and 3.
Yes. Lorik, how about that strength check, please?
I got a 6.
Okay,
Sorry, I didn't realize I like 3 times.
thank you. All right, so you guys grab them and pull them back away from the edge of the ship. But they still are persisting under the guise of this spell, apparently. You guys are still hearing the ah, and you can't help but feel the pull. Let me get some charisma saving throws from both of you.
I got a 19.
Not you, Brandon. You already saved.
Oh.
Just Dean and Lord.
Sorry.
Dean and Aiden.
That's right.
7.
That's right.
So 7, Dean, and Aiden.
17.
17.
17.
Thank you. Aiden, you're muted.
Bueller.
I got a 16.
16. Very good. So the two of you just save, okay? The DC was a 16. And as they pull you back away from the side of the ship, you step out of it. You're like, oh, geez. They're so pretty. I don't know what came over me, and you can still hear them. Ah! And you see Roger and the rest of the crew, and they're kind of, some of them are fighting it back, and Roger does the same thing. He's like, he just, let me see, Roger. Roger.
Ooh,
Roger rolls a
come on,
natural
Roger.
20. Roger sees some of the crew members are like, hey, snap out of it. And he sees one of the guys on the sails. He says, full sail, full sail. And he starts trying to get those that are still aware to speed up the ship and so forth. And they begin to do so. But many of the crew are still making their way towards the edges of the ship, guys. You guys have 6 crew members that are trying to make their way off the ship. Now, 6 crew members, you can replace 6 crew. But what are you guys going to do?
I yell out there to whoever is not being messed up like I was, go and try to grab the crew and tie them onto the ship, tie them even if it's right on the railing, so when they fall off, they're just dangling there, but not by the neck.
All right.
Drag them below
Try
deck.
to tie them down so when we get far enough away, we can snap their asses out of it.
Drag them below deck.
I'm going to join the rest of the crew and assisting them on pulling the rest of the crew members out of it.
Okay. Let me go get some strength checks from the lot of you. Okay.
I'm going to be doing something different.
Okay.
Ooh, I rolled an 18 for a total of 23.
All right. So you go up and you grab one of the
20
members
with a total of 24.
and go to restrain them. And Dean, what did you roll? Dean?
Natural 20, so 24.
And you restrain another one of the crew. Chandler, what are you doing?
I was going to help restrain, and I rolled a 19 in total.
All right. So you grab one of the members and you're like, dude, snap out of it. You restrain him as well. What about you, Aiden? What are you doing?
I was doing the same thing, and I got a 19.
Okay. So you grab another crew member. That leaves 2. So they grab 4 of the 6 crew members. That leaves 2. Tarzinster, you had another plan. What do you think?
They're not going to like me. But that's okay. I'm not here to win friends. At least the mermaids aren't going to like me. So on whichever side, I draw my staff out and it's crackling with lightning. And I look down at them and in Aqua, and I'm like, I give you the count of 3, and I'm going to lightning bolt you, and it's not going to be friendly. I'm like, 1, 2, and if the singing doesn't stop, I launch a lightning bolt from the staff at the 3 that are on this side, and it's a 9d6 lightning bolt that comes out of that thunder and lightning staff.
Let me get an
That's
intimidation roll from you.
Yeah, I don't want to do it.
Before you release the thunder, let me get an intimidation roll.
I have a +7 to intimidation. I'm rolling. 17. That would be a 24. I mean, that's charisma's my. And I'm looking at him like, I'd rather be your friend,
Okay.
but
So
I'm protecting this crew.
they hear your threats and so forth, and like they look at each other and they dart below the waves, leaving you.
Does
the
the
rest,
music stop?
yeah, you're true. Yeah, the music stops. So like we're not dealing with Zeus over here, and so they all stop singing and they disappear into the waves below. So much for negotiations.
I mean, that was kind of negotiating.
Hey,
I said
started it.
Your friend, but if you're gonna force this on me, I'll do it.
Roger, he looks at you, Captain Vaughn. He says, Captain, that was a close one. I nearly thought you were going overboard.
I did too, and I apologize for that. I did not expect that to happen. We need.
Maybe it would have behooved us for me to go underwater last time and try to make friends with them.
Or
a little bit.
Just saying.
hey, I did say you got 20 minutes, but you know,
We were in a hurry.
We've all had a long day, Captain. Why don't you give it a rest? And the sun's going down. We'll slow here. Maybe I'll take the helm for a while.
slow here. Let's go past here. Let's go past here, and then we'll slow. I'll stay awake until we get past here.
He says, maybe I'll take the helm. I'll take the helm for a while, if you like.
Go for it. Yeah, I will take a small rest. Gert, watch over as well, because I'm honestly kind of disappointed in myself for falling for something so, in a way, kind of beating myself up.
Oh, don't beat yourself up.
The way
yet.
Roger it sounded a little sketchy, man. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I still think Roger is he's up to something. I don't like that shit.
Who's
Yeah.
Roger?
Greasy Roger is he is the one of our main crewmen. What did I name him? He was kind of like he's pretty much keeping an eye and training the troops is what it is. That's who's on our ship. He's not the first mate, but he is kind of up there. Kind of like a quarterman. Quartermaster, yeah. So I understand that, but he was also looking at I feel that he's looking for the best interest for the crew, especially with it being that close of a call. You know what I mean? Right. I think that he is trying to, he's trying to prove himself. He's trying. I don't feel he's very much. How do I say it? I don't think that he is trying to deceive us in any way, shape, or form. I feel that he's trying to prove himself.
You say that now.
Then it is a Lord with us.
Do what?
You should roll an insight. You should roll an insight on him then.
An insight. Listen.
On Roger.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. I want to roll an insight on him.
I have trust in him. But if you're not, that's you. Bruh.
I agree. I agree on the insight.
Ooh,
Okay.
nice.
20.
I got a 20.
2 20s for insight. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Oh no, I was the only one who got.
Yeah, I was usually the only one that honestly kind of thought that.
Yeah, unless Finn and Tars feel the same way.
I'm feeling that I'm having kind of like a stepson type trust in him for the more and more he's proving himself. So my character himself has a trust in him.
So, Laura, you're looking at Roger over there taking the helm from the captain. You're like, I don't trust him. I don't trust anyone. You look at him and he looks back over at the captain and he nods his head. He's like, yeah. But everything he's done to this part, you really kind of trying to put it together. Like, you guys asked him to go get aboard that boat, that bomb. And he did that. And then you guys asked him to help put together a crew. And he did that. And then he's even taken upon himself to help manage the crew in the times of need down below deck, to help Chandler and them to patch up the hole and bail out the ship. And even when the mermaids, they attacked, he helped make sure that the ship got to safety. So it's not easy for you to trust someone. You've never trusted him. You've always found it was hard, as you always see the worst in people. You see the worst in yourself. But now you're wondering if maybe Roger isn't such a bad guy.
So, from my point of view, and I don't know any of you, my point of view, since you included me in this, it leads to the situation that just took place, and you got like most of them hands on deck trying to jump overboard to go get some fishtail, and he's one of the few people that aren't entranced. He was trying to rectify the situation by removing the ship and the crew out of the danger.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get the vibe you get, but like I said, I'm new here. Now, I was considering going overboard and trying to continue a conversation with these merfolk so we don't have this problem again in, say, 20, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. Because we're not in the same place we were when the one came up earlier. We're probably miles from that location.
Yeah.
Am I right, Pat?
Oh, yeah. You got a long way to go.
So they can I can just tell you, cover a lot of territory underwater really fast. So, and their territory could be a large territory that you might not sail out of for days.
You are approaching a couple of places that you could waylay. There was talk about making lasting repairs to the ship. Soon you're going to cross past two major places. One, Thalia, and another, Ilion. Ilion being an island between Deimos and Kandor. Either one of them could be places where you could get some repairs. It'd be probably easier to obtain at Thalia, but not much is known about Thalia ever since the war. That is about who's actually in power in Kandor. Now that the 5 dragons have been disbanded, these heroes have come through and vanquished darkness. But what about a government? There's nothing in place there. Everything's kind of lawless. You don't know what to expect.
How about Handor?
So there's
Follow.
Follow. You're coming up near next, but not really sure what to expect there. You've never been there before. But Ilion's kind of it's kind of rich. It's a little wealthy. Repairs would be costly there.
Ugh. But then again, when it comes down to wealth, it comes down to, in our line of business, comes down to somebody that, more law, if that makes any sense. As in, we could be in port while they're repairing our ship, and random cargo inspection.
And you don't need any of that.
No, we do not.
Yep.
So as of right now, he thinks, I always,
Tars.
thank you, Tars. Tars, he thinks that we're just merchants. And so honestly, as of right now, he's kind of proven. Has this been within like a few days span from the pirates or this or that, or just within one day?
You know, on another note, hey, Captain.
Yeah.
Let me get a.
You cut out there, Pat.
Sorry. Let me get it from the lot of you, with the exception of Taurus, because you're not really from around here. Well, let me get a history check from you to see how much we might actually know from the surrounding
14.
11.
18.
What about you, Aiden?
And I got an above game question for you.
Go ahead. Aiden, you are muted.
Yeah, what was
Pat,
that? What was I rolling?
I just sent you a
history.
message on Discord.
A history check,
History.
please.
Okay. I got a 10.
2. Okay, I got a couple of different Discord channels. Which Discord did you send it to?
The DM one. The DM channel that's open in this right now. I'm doing it right now. As soon as I finish typing it up. Sorry. I can't see my keyboard. It's a new keyboard. My old one, I spilled a drink on it.
Nice.
Okay. Noted. So I was having you guys roll history checks, correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
What were the results of those?
I got a 14.
Gert got an 11.
I got an 18.
18. And Aiden, what was yours?
A 10.
So,
I just said,
what? What was that, Chris?
I just sent it to the DM channel.
Okay.
I had another note there a minute ago, but you'll see it.
All right. Not. I don't know. Hard to say right now, Chris. From more
I don't
north.
know exactly where.
You're
in
further
relation
north.
to where he was.
Bit further north.
Okay.
Be a bit
Okay.
further north.
Okay.
So Chandler, you rolled an 18.
Yes.
You know enough about Follow to know that you could obtain some goods here relatively cheap. And that you could also get your repairs there done pretty cheap and discreetly. If you go to the right harbor. And you've actually made port here before, and you know a shipmaster that won't ask many questions and will do the repairs reasonably. And he normally has a large shipment of wine that that you can pick up some work with as well. Things that you may be able to relay to the captain while they're wondering where to get repairs.
Oh, how close am I to the captain?
You're on the deck with him, so yeah, you can
Okay.
find the captain relatively easily. You meander over, and he's wondering if he should stay up and make sure that he's through the water. So maybe he's at the bow of the ship as Roger's taking the helm, and he looks out with his telescopic lens to see that the way is clear ahead. And you come up from behind him, disturbing him. He puts away his telescopic lens, and Von DeVinto, you find, what was his name again?
Finn.
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 Finn. Finn has walked up to you, one of the mercenaries you hired out of Chimeria. All of his clothes are finally dry, and he's put his armor back on, and he seems like he's fairly proficient. Well, Finn.
So, Cap,
Yes,
I have some information I'd like to pass to you.
I'm listening.
If we go to Thalia, I know a place where we can get our repairs done cheap and wine to sell.
So a job on a job.
Correct.
Okay, and
But
it keeps
if-
us out of that. Oh, go ahead. Yep.
And if we ever do get a random cargo inspection, we have goods.
Yeah, I just launched my D20 crap.
What did it come up on by chance?
12.
Decent roll.
I should do that more often.
All right.
But yeah, that sounds good because I know the other place, Ilion, is a bunch of rich people, and I don't like people like that.
And they're nosy.
And when there's nosy, there's authority. When there's authority, there's putting their noses in places where they're not supposed to be. And I do not like sells. So, Fala, it is. I yell out loud, set sails to Fala.
Aye, Captain. And Roger, he takes the wheel and cuts it left in order to follow the coastline up the eastern coast of Kandor, and the wind catches the sails, and you begin to cut the water quite well as you make good time. Traveling, you made a very good journey on this particular session, crossing through the canal between Stygia and Kandor, having finished up your journey across the vast sea, encountering dragon turtles, some mermaids, and a couple of pirate ships that you managed to evade all in a day's work, right?
Yeah.
All in a day's work.
Well, it has been fun
And I got
this evening.
saved.
Most of us have work in the morning, and I'll see some of you there. But it has been fun this evening.
Yep.
Thank you for joining us here at the table in the tavern. And until next time, remember to be kind to each other because we're all in this together. Say goodnight, everyone.
Good night.
Good
Good night, everyone.
We're all
Night.
in it together.